though. We promised you we'd talk about Leicester. Not exciting times for them, are they? There's Brendan Rodgers, 5 defeats in a row now for them. Right, what are the stats saying for us? What's going wrong?
It's not looking good, is it? It's their worst losing run since February 2017, which led to Claudio Ranieri getting sacked by the football club. Things not going well. It's been a poor start, like you say, for Brendan Rodgers. The defence, probably the biggest problem at the moment. They've conceded 16 Premier League goals so far in just 6 matches. That's the 17th worst of all of those sides in the Premier League. They really have struggled at the back. Of course, you have to remember they had a tricky summer of transfer speculation as well. There was a lot of links to the likes of James Maddison, Yuri Tielemans, Wesley Fofana, who eventually joined Chelsea as well. That's clearly had a big factor. Losing Kasper Schmeichel would have been another big factor as well. Someone that had been at the club for in excess of 10 years and had been organising that defence, which has performed so badly over the course of this season as well. And when you look at the current stats, 7 Premier League wins in just in 2022. That's really not great considering we're now in September. 7 Premier League wins. 1 clean sheet in 29 Premier League matches as well. And I think it's fair to say there's been a lack of confidence for a number of those players, in which Brendan Rodgers even said last week in a press conference that there were some players lacking in confidence so much that he didn't even think that they were in the right place to train with the first team. So clearly things aren't going well. But when you've got someone like Brendan Rodgers with all of his experience, he's now going to have to draw on that to try and turn things around at Leicester City.
Yeah, you mentioned the transfer window. What is it? Because there's a reason. What is the reason why they didn't go and get more players in?
Quite simply because of FFP. Leicester City have to be really careful about the money they spend at the moment. We know that they have a large squad under Brendan Rodgers. One of their big remits over the course of the summer and the transfer window was to try and lose some of those players that were on the fringes of the team, those that were sat in the stands for matches, those that weren't getting a lot of game time, those that were on the bench and picking up quite substantial wages. That was one of their big factors, which they didn't really manage to do. So with regards to FFP, they have to be really careful. Now, last week, UEFA announced on Friday a list of clubs that would be sanctioned with regards to going over the FFP rules. They also mentioned a series of other clubs, 19 to be precise, that they were looking into and that were being monitored. One of those, guess what? Leicester City. UEFA wants more financial information from Leicester City with regards to their FFP dealings. So quite simply, the reason they couldn't spend money was because they weren't allowed to because of UEFA's FFP rules. So therefore, the football club have done the right thing. They're trying to be sustainable. They're trying to do things sensibly. They're not trying to just chuck loads of cash at players and you know, forget the consequences. They're trying to do things in the right way. You also have to remember that Leicester City have invested huge sums of money into the infrastructure, into the training ground, into the facilities to try and improve that football club and take it to the next level, because since 2015 when they won the Premier League, they've achieved so much. The big thing is they now need to try and stay at that level, and to stay at that level it means success on the pitch, which often means investment in the team, which is something they can't do right now because of FFP. So yeah, challenging times. He talked about missing pieces in the jigsaw and trying to fill in the blanks. That man is going to have to get very good at doing jigsaws if he's to sort out this Leicester City problem.